I think you would be hard-pressed to find a more debated and hated topic among the community than spawn camping. Whether it's competitive players making fun of casuals or casuals complaining about it, this is a heated debate that has gone on for far too long because it is really stupid. And the only thing more stupid than this debate is all the bad arguments in it. So today, in an attempt to end this debate, I will be throwing my hat into the ring and telling you the truth about spawn camping. Let's get started. Let's start with the competitive players, because guess what? This side has bad arguments too. And the main thing I see from every competitive player ever is, lol, just get better at the game forehead, or just don't get spawn camped, learn how to counter it. And this argument sucks. Contrary to popular belief, Splatoon is not that easy of a game, and on top of that, even if you are good, you will often get matched against people that are better. More on that later. I can't believe I need to say this, but telling people to just not get spawn camped isn't that helpful. It's fine if you're saying it ironically as a joke, but a lot of people say it as actual counter arguments to spawn camping, which doesn't work whatsoever. With your competitive knowledge, what you should be doing is telling people how to deal with spawn camping and how they can get around it. That's the proper way to respond. And to be clear, the casual side is not any better. While the competitive argument is just get better at the game forehead, the casual argument is just let people have fun forehead, which is equally problematic. This one requires a little bit more explaining, and I think it'll be a big eye-opener for those who hate spawn camping. This is Walleye Warehouse tower control. I drew the tower path in blue. We got our enemy comp over there, and we're gonna be taking the perspective of a comp who just got a wipe and they're trying to push on Walleye Warehouse tower control. And no, you can't commission me. I know my art is insane, but I have it closed right now. But anyway, let's say we get a wipe. Where do we want to go? Now, our enemy team wants to go defend the tower. These guys want to go defend. And so having the most options available to defend from works the best. So they want to go like up here, over here, over here. So if we're playing from the perspective of our red friends over here, we want to take away these positions and push up ahead of where the tower is going to go. And in fact, the tower will actually go so far that to be ahead of the tower, we're going to have to be right ahead of their spawn. So if the red team wants to play correctly and not just give up the tower for the other team, they should be pushing all the way up to the enemy spawn. That's just how the map is designed. So if you're saying, just don't spawn camp, what exactly do you want the red team to do? Do you want them to sit, like, way back here and throw the game, not knock out the tower, and just lose or not play well? Like, do you want them to throw against you? Because throwing, or not trying your hardest, is disrespectful. And so we're now putting players in this situation where it's like, you can try, spawn camp, and be hated, or you can throw, not try, which is rude, and also be hated. What are they supposed to do that isn't disliked? There isn't an answer here. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying if the tower is left alone in mid and all 4 players are right here spawn camping, then that's completely fine. Because no, that's different because we're not playing optimally and we're not paying attention to the objective. But you will still see this because there is a mode called Turf War. Let's just pretend that this whole area is inked, this whole area is inked. The only place that isn't inked is where the opponents are coming from. What is the team with all the maps supposed to do? There's nothing for them to paint. The only place they can go is the enemy spawn. And by the way, this is why most of the spawn camping complaints happen on Turf War, because while all the other modes have a knockout function, Turf War does not. So if one team steamrolls and pushes someone back to their spawn, there's nothing else they can do but spawn camp. That's just how the mode works. And aside from map and mode problems, and again, I can't believe no one talks about this, the matchmaking system is also to blame. If you've played Turf War, you know how bad this is. You can have C rank and X rank players in the same lobby. Like, I, a top-level competitive player, have occasionally played Turf War and ran into a level 16 baby Splatoon player. Why are we in the same lobby? It's not fun for them, and it's not fun for me. Steamrolls and spawn camps are not fun for either side. People want more even matches because that's gonna be what's most fun to play in. So given all this, my point of this video is that blaming competitive players, or blaming casuals, or blaming spawn campers, or the people getting spawn camped, isn't helping anyone, because the problem isn't with any of these sides. The problem is with how the game is designed that allows for this to happen so frequently. So I'll get to what Splatoon 3 can do to have way less of a spawn camping problem, but real quick, if you are getting spawn camped, here's 3 pieces of advice from me. First up, stay inside the spawn barrier and farm special. You have protection, and the special is how you can move out of there. Play safe until you get help from either a teammate or a special weapon. If you're getting spawn camped by someone on the team who's super far up, and the rest of your team is fighting in mid, super jump to a beacon or teammate. If you have a safe way around, that player has to go back because the objective is much more important. And finally, focus on not getting tilted. I swear this isn't a get good comment. Mental game matters. It's why squid bagging and taunting are an actual strategy. Tilted players are going to have a harder time thinking and getting out of situations, and they're going to be more prone to making mistakes. So if you focus on keeping your calm, you will likely have an easier time getting out of the situation. But with that all being said, here's how Nintendo can drastically help the spawn camp situation in Splatoon 3. First of all, have stages with more open spawn areas. In Flounder Heights in Splatoon 1, on zones, this entire area is completely inaccessible to the other team's players, which means it's really good for regrouping, finding a way out of spawn, or having varied ways to enter the map, which will make it a lot easier to get out of. And yes, I'm aware of mid-air spawns. I know they are a thing now, and you're gonna super jump in, but if the area you're super jumping into is tiny, it's not gonna help that much. This big spawn area is still really important. Second, give Turf War a knockout function. It's really simple. If the opponents are steamrolling you, there needs to be a way the game can end faster instead of you being spawn camped for 2 minutes. Even if Nintendo has a better matchmaking system, which I don't think they will, having it so that the mode can end when it does have poor matchmaking will mean you spend less time getting spawn camped and more time playing games that are actually fun. And finally, have an actual matchmaking system. Now, I don't think Nintendo will do this because they really like to get people into games fast regardless of how unbalanced they are, but realistically, this is the most important solution. It's just also the one we're least likely to see. Listen, I get it. Spawn camping is really annoying, and we can all sit here and hope and pray that Splatoon 3 will be a perfect game where it isn't a problem. But regardless of what Nintendo does, and at all odds they might not do as much as we hope for, the most we can do is learn how to get better at dealing with spawn camping and help each other out instead of, well, having both sides flame each other over a stupid argument. In the current situation, whether you're the person spawn camping or being spawn camped, nobody is a winner, and I really want that to be a thing we can all remember. So, I hope this video helped explain the spawn camping situation. If you want to see more videos from me, you can be sure to subscribe. I have a pretty recent one talking about the problems with Splatoon 2's maps if you want to learn more about that. And, with that all being said, just stop spawning.